And thanks for joining Stamp with Tracy for today's Wow Wednesday. Today we're going to be making this beautiful little box that holds a tea light and gives you a gorgeous little decoration. And the little tea light goes inside. And it's not dark here, so it's very hard to tell, but you can see how it gives you a little flicker of light in the background there. So it's such a cute little table ornament 3D item that I wanted to share it with you today. Now I did get this idea from Carol Ellis Slack, and she is a fellow demonstrator in the same upline group that I am in, and she posted this and I thought, oh, this is so cool, I've got to show it to my customers and friends. So I wanted to show it to you today. So what we have that we're going to be using, again, because I like them so much, I tend to be using them a lot lately, is the Night Divine dies. And that comes with all those pieces for the nativity. And I have a lot of them out, so there's no sense even opening it and showing it to you. And then, of course, the hybrid embossing folder, that Stars of Night. And you can get that complete suite. And get both stamp sets and both dies and all the accessories that go along with that in our current mini catalog on page 14 it starts, and it has some beautiful pictures, but you can buy the whole suite. I think right now that the adhesive, the Night of Navy with the gold glittered ribbon and the star trinkets are both on not back order, but currently out of stock. So you would have to wait for those to come in, and I believe that they're due in next week, the 13th or the 16th of November. So that's something that you can consider getting. Now the dies are available, I believe now, and that's all I did order were the dies and this Star at Night hybrid embossing folder kit that embosses and cuts. So that's where I got the stars from. So to start this out, we're going to have a piece of Night of Navy cardstock, and this cardstock is measured 10 inches by 5 inches. And then we need to score it to make our box. So my first score line, let me see if I can get this in so that you can see it. My first score line is at 1/2 inch. Okay, and then I'm going to come over to 3.5 inches and score, and then I'm going to move over to 6.5 inches, and hopefully you have our scoring paper trimmer, because it does have the arm extended and you can take that all the way across. If you have a paper trimmer that doesn't have the extending arm and you can't measure that far out, then the simplest idea would be to measure the 1/2 inch, the 3.5 inch, flip your paper around and do it from the other side if you don't have the ability to have the extension. So then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do another score line at 3 inches. Okay? So there we have our basic card base. And then we need a piece of cardstock that is 3 inches by 6 inches. So it's 6 inches long, 3 inches high. And we're going to score that at 3. So it gives us a folded piece here. And this is actually going to work as our connector base on the back and our base on the bottom of that. So let me show you some things here that we can get started with. And I was looking for my host code to keep that here for you to remember to use my November host code. This is also going to be my kit for the month, my class to go that you can earn for free. And you earn it for free by placing a $40 order, minimum $40, and using the November host code. You can also purchase the kit for $20. Now, this month, it is going to be a box when we put it together. So of course I'll be sending you all the supplies unassembled, and you'll assemble it yourself, and you'll get enough to make 2 of those. Again, you can qualify for free by placing a $40 order using my November host code. Now, if your order is over $150, you don't want to use the host code, you will in turn use no host code, and you'll earn the rewards yourself, but you'll still qualify for the kit for free. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is on the short side. Since we did that score line down there at 3 inches, we have a long side and a short side. So we're going to turn to the short side, and we're going to cut to make our tabs right down that score line on both ends. And those little pieces we don't need. Then we're going to cut the other 2 score lines to give us the ability to make our box. Okay, so now I like to burnish all of my folds. So I'm going to use that doing my broom folder, and I just fold each one using that bone folder, and I like to come back and do this on the right hand side because I'm right-handed. And then I also will burnish these 3 folds as well, and I'll do each one individually just to make sure that I don't catch a side. Okay, so there we have the start of putting our box together. So you see how that'll go. Okay. And then the back piece that I was saying, that other 3x3 piece, will do our sides here and then the bottom. So I'll show you that. But next step we're going to do here is we are actually going to go ahead and punch our holes. So we have a 2 3/8 punch, our circle punch, that is available for purchase. You'll find that under the online exclusives. We take the piece of paper with the folded end at the top, and we enter the cardstock into our punch, and it lines up perfectly right between our score lines. And I bring it all the way down to the bottom of the punch, so then I know that all of my circles will be punched at the right height. Okay, again, it works perfect to be right between those 2 score lines. And again, bringing it all the way down, centers each one just right. Okay, now I do have a little mark here from my punch. I need to run some foil through that. So I'm getting a rough edge, so I just punch out a bunch of foil when it needs to be sharpened a little. And I just do that with aluminum foil. Okay, so then we're going to add our tear and tape. As soon as I can put my hands on it. Let's see, where did it go? Our tear and tape is awesome. I love it now because you can use the tear and tape without having to use scissors. Now, it was just here. Where did it go? All right, I'll grab another roll of it. So, our tear and tape, you want to put on the outside of the 2 tabs. And our tear and tape can be found on the page with our adhesives. And then we're going to put one piece on one of these, and it doesn't matter which one, whatever one you choose to be on the bottom, whichever one you want it to be, and that's going to be covered. So I just chose the middle one, and as I said, that is going to be covered, so it doesn't really matter. So for right now, we'll do that. And then we're going to go ahead and assemble it. And I'll use my take your pick tool to pick off that paper. Again, I'm bringing that in and just making sure it all lines up. If it doesn't line up, that means you've probably did one of your scoring sides incorrectly. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and remove this tear and tape as well. And then we'll add our other 3" by 6" piece. Okay, so what I like to do is first I like to get this piece on the top because I want to make sure that I'm lining up my corners, and if there's a problem with it, it'll be showing on the bottom, not on the side. Okay, and then one more piece of tear and tape right there. Of course, I found my other tear and tape. It's sitting right here to the left of me. It would have bit me if it was any closer. And then that will go right across the bottom. Then I have 3 pieces of vellum cut. Now the vellum is cut in a square, and they are 2 3/4 inch square, and we have 3 of those. Then we have a piece of white, our basic white cardstock, and this is cut at 2 1/2. And I stamped Peace on Earth that came from the Christmas Classic stamp set, and I went off to the left and a little bit down, so it's not centered on purpose because I'm going to be adding a star to that. Then I also have another piece of basic white cut that is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and I'm going to add that to the inside. So I'm just going to use my snail adhesive to add that to the inside of my box. There we go, just to give us a prettier look down there. And then for my vellum, I'm actually going to add that with glue dots. Now I'll show you, here's another one that I did, and this one I actually did with liquid glue, which you could use, it's not a problem, but I think it looks a little bit cleaner. You can see my circle marks, but with the glue dots, you'll just see the little dots in the corner there. So I liked that look better. So that's how we're going to do it. So I have my glue dots, and I just put one on each corner. And you could have done that before it was assembled as well. So whatever way you prefer, just slide it in there and then press where the glue dots are. And another piece, like I said, we'll be doing 3 of those. and we're covering the windows, the little circles that we, 2 3/8 circles that we cut out. Okay, and one more. And this is our vellum cardstock that can be found on in our annual catalog on the specialty paper page. Again, just pressing in, and there we have the start of our box. Now all we have to do is decorate it. Okay, so I cut out my dies, and one thing I liked about this is I could run all the dies I wanted to cut on the very first, just going through on one sheet of paper. So I have the nativity scene, I have the camel, I have the donkey, I have 3 stars, I have 2 sheep and a lamb. And then I need to separate my nativity scene. So I am going to cut off my shepherd and then round the edge here of Mary. Same thing with my wise men. I'm going to go ahead and cut him off, and they'll be going on another screen, and I'll round off Joseph here as well. So again, I will be using my glue dots. And I think I would recommend probably using your take your pick tool, because these can be kind of fragile and you want to make sure that you don't tear them. So I'll do that with the others and I'll show you what I mean. So we're just adhering that right to the center towards the bottom of our circle. And then I have the donkey, and I will go use my pick tool to add my glue dots to that, because I don't want to take a chance on tearing them. Okay, just press down on it. And on the other side here, I'm going to do the little lamb. And I think probably 1 glue dot will be sufficient for that. And we need a star. So again, the stars were cut out from the Stars at Night hybrid embossing folder and dies. Center that right over the top, and then I use my rhinestone jewels, and we'll add a jewel to that. And then the next one, we'll do our shepherd. I think this would be a really cute little hostess gift to take if you're going to someone's house over the holidays. And then we have the sheep. Again, I think just 1 mini glue dot is plenty for that. So we have those, and then again a star. So we do 3 of the white stars, and then when we add our stamped piece of cardstock to that one corner, to that one side, I mean, we will be using a blue star. And again, we add our bling. If you don't have this take your pick tool, I think you'll want it. It's really an awesome tool to use to help with so many things. Oh, okay. Too much of my putty here. It's gotten kind of old, so let me reshape that. You just turn your cap here, and we sell the refills for that. And there we have that one. And then we'll go to the other side. And we will do the Wiseman. With glue dot. I'm going to put him right here. And as I said, you could choose to assemble all of this before you put the box together, but I personally like to look at it with the box assembled. That's just my personal choice. So whatever works easiest for you. And I will use 2 glue dots on the camel, maybe even 3. I'm not worried about his legs, but I want to make sure his head is attached well. I'll curl that one up. And he goes over here to the side. And then on this one, we're not going to center our star. We're actually going to have it off to the left between the two of them. Right there. Now let's bring that up a little higher. And then add the jewel to that. Didn't center that too well. Trying not to get my head in the camera, and that's what makes this a little bit more difficult. So there we have that. Now on this one here, we're going to do our stamped image that I chose, the Peace on Earth. And you center this in this square. And then take the blue star and add a glue dot to that. And we'll put that, which is why I didn't center the Peace on Earth, because I wanted to have the star there. So there you have it. Isn't that a cute little 3D item to have? And as I stated before, you get a little tea light to go on the inside, and it gives you that cute little flickering light. I know it's hard to see on the camera, but, and I don't glue that down in there because you have the on and off button. Otherwise I would adhere it to the center, but I don't want to do that. So that's today's Well Wednesday. I hope you enjoyed that. And I hope also that you'll be interested in possibly placing an order to be able to qualify to get this class for free. But don't forget, for Well Wednesday, we need to like and comment, and there will be a winner that will get 2 of these for free sent to them when I draw the winners from everyone who commented. Now, they will not be assembled because there's no way for me to ship them assembled, so you will have to put them together, but you'll have everything that you need to assemble them, except the tea light. Okay? So there's the opportunity to win them. Thanks so much for joining me for today's Well Wednesday. Don't forget to like and comment for a chance to win your own little tea light holder. Thanks for joining me, everyone, and happy stamping.